You're listening to Hawk Talk with former Seahawks wide receiver Michael Bumpus. Powered by Seahawks.com. Now, here's your host, Nasser Kyobe.
Welcome back to another edition of Hawk Talk. I'm Nasser Kyobe. He's Michael Bumpus. Back for another year. Bump, I feel like this is year 6 now, maybe?
I don't know, man. It's blending in.
It's been a lot.
It's blending in.
So much that we're on video again. We're not doing it on little cart we used to do it on. You know what I'm saying?
You done some things to this studio, man. It looks professional in here.
No, I'm trying. It's been a whole thing. C-level production. Shout out everyone working hard back there, life on the ones and twos back there helping us out. But no, Bump, we're excited. We're back. If we're back, that means we're talking about Seahawks football. It's another year. 2025 is here. And those dreaded 49ers starting out right off the bat.
I kind of like that, though.
I love it.
Let's throw hands early.
I love it.
Let's see what they made of.
Hey, you want to see what you're made of? Let's do it.
Let's get it.
And it's exactly right. And it's been a really cool camp watching these guys work. And Mike McDonald there, year 2. Completely new offensive staff. You got Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator, Rick Dennison, John Benton, Andrew Yanko. So you got a lot of different guys out there in the coaching staff. And this team, obviously, completely new look. We haven't talked about it on this podcast yet. Obviously, Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp. There's a bunch of new names. But, Bump, I'm just going to jump right into the roster. You saw it. The 53 came out. Obviously, we're getting ready to play the 49ers this weekend. What were your initial thoughts when you look at this 53-man roster?
I like it. We know who QB1 was going to be, right? That's
right.
Sam Darnold all day. You got Drew Lock and Milroe. The running back situation was fun to watch, too. Ken Walker didn't play a lot or at all during this preseason. So you got to see George Holani do his thing. And you have a fullback.
Yes.
The Seahawks have a designated fullback. Oots out of Alabama is going to do his thing, and then Russell as well. Receiver core, I'm so happy for Cody White, man. I'm glad he made this squad. He's been bouncing around the NFL for a while, activated in practice squad with the Seahawks. That's good there. And then you got Horton, tight ends. Saubert is a sleeper. I know we're going to look at A.J. Barner, Elijah. I get that. But Saubert is a sleeper. Big up Collar up. I got to get used to saying this name. Collar, okay, said it right. Offensive line. Abe just got his deal today.
Thank you.
3 years, over $40 million. Need to lock that down. And then you draft Gray Zabel. So hopefully that O-line looks good. Defensive line, same OGs over there. You got Leo, Reed, DeMarcus comes over from the Dallas Cowboys. Murphy's expected to make a big jump there. And, of course, Mike Morris in the linebacker position. Uchenna, we're waiting to see what his health is like. He's been battling through. Boy, Amafe's back. Derek Carr, Ernest Jones, spoke to him today. He seems locked in. Tyrese Knight and a bunch of other cats, too, in the corners. I really like this group, too, man. I think Witherspoon is due for a big year. Right? Only a couple of interceptions in his career. Is it 1 or 2 in his career, interceptions?
I think it's just 1.
I think it's 1, right? Guaranteed 3 this year. Reek Williams going to have a bounce back year, if you want to call it that. Josh Jobe, Nehemiah Pritchett, love that. And the safety group, highlighted by Jay Love, Kobe Bryant, a fan favorite, but Nick Imaware, your draft pick in the second round. You're looking forward to seeing. And Ty Okada, big ups Montana State, man. He made the squad. Beautiful one-hand interception against the Green Bay Packers. That's what's up. And then, the specialists. These guys never change. You got Myers, Dixon, Stoll. I like this group. I'm feeling good about it.
No, and you went through all that list. There's so many good things. We were going to talk a lot about this season, about this defense. I'm going to call it a spade a spade. I think this is a top 5 defense.
I feel you.
Mike McDonald in his second year, you mentioned there's playmakers at every level of this defense. And not just playmakers, like elite level players. Offensively, I love the identity of where this offense is going. We're going to talk a lot about that. Clint Kubiak running the football. I know it's just a preseason, but that little nugget we got against the Chiefs, I think that's a precursor of what we're going to see this year. So I'm excited. Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, all those guys. We're going to get into all of those coming up. But like I mentioned, to start it off, those hated 49ers are on tap.
What's on tap?
49ers last year, a little different. Been like the years before. 6-11, last place in the NFC West last year.
Man, I mean, they're banged up. They were banged up, but hey, take the L. Last place in the West.
I know they were banged up. That doesn't mean I can't enjoy saying 6-11, last place 49ers.
You can say that.
No, I mean, Kyle Shanahan, we know how good he is as a head coach. 9th season is with the 49ers, coming off their first losing season since 2020, only the 3rd under Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, you mentioned it. Last year, it was all about injuries and disappointment. We know this team has Super Bowl caliber in it. We know how good of a team they are when it comes to who's on it. But they're going to be without a lot of dudes.
Yeah, Debo gone. He with the Commanders. Greenlaw, Hufanga, Ward, all these guys are out of there. So there's some change going on with the 49ers, but that is the NFL. It's rare you bring the same squad back, especially when you got to start paying dues like Funga or whatnot. It's going to look different, but they bring back Robert Saleh. He was the defensive coordinator over there for the Niners from 2017 to 2020. Went to New York, had an experiment, didn't work out.
Yeah.
But that's why you keep good relationships, because now he's back in San Francisco.
Yeah, no, there's a couple more connections when you look at the defensive side of the football for the Niners, because Saleh was here in Seattle, as quality control for a little bit. Our guy, KJ Wright, who I love to
KJ's
death.
over there.
But man, KJ Wright on the Niners staff, he's there too. And old defensive coordinator Gus Bradley is also on staff with the 49ers. So they got a lot of experience on that side of the football, a lot of familiar faces there. And Bump, I'll just take a look, really glance over this because different personnel, different coaches. But last year, the Niners defensively, they were top 10 defense. They were 8th overall. Against the run, they were middle of the pack, 18th, allowing 124 yards per game. And against the pass, they were top 5, allowing just 92 yards per game. They're going to bring pressure. They know they're going to have playmakers on that side of the ball. Losing Hufanga is going to hurt, but it'll be interesting to see what Saleh can do with that side of the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting. Saleh's a good coach. I think he got a tough draw over there with the Jets, so you bring him back with the 49ers. You expect this defense to play some good ball. I almost don't even want to read the Seahawks offensive stats because I feel like it's going to be a lot better this year. Last year, they were ranked 14th overall, 28th rushing team, 8th passing team, and 18th when it came to scoring points, 22.1 points per game. It almost makes me cringe a little bit because I've seen what this team has been working and what they've been doing during this offseason. I can almost guarantee those numbers are going to be better overall.
Yeah, I think the one that jumps out to us, 28th.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet my house, my mortgage, everything I got that the Seahawks will not be 28th in rush offense this year.
Not at all.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, the Niners are a challenge. Mm-hmm. They are who they are. And I think last year, they're banged up. That's football. But the Seahawks are still going to have to take it to them and knock them off because that's just what it is. And that's what you got to do in this division. Speaking of those 49ers, though, you know what time it is. Time to know the history.
Know your history.
Series record, the Seahawks lead the all-time series 30-22 in the regular season, 1-1 in the postseason. Last year, Bump, the world got right again. Seahawks snapped a 6-game losing streak to the 49ers down in Santa Clara in November. It was kind of dicey towards the end there. The 49ers were clinging to a 17-13 lead midway through the fourth quarter. Seahawks got stopped on 4th and 1. Another thing that I think is going to change this year. I don't think we're going to have too many of those in big games. But they got stopped. Defense came out there. They got a stop. That was right when Ernest came over, and then we kind of started to see that shift in the Seahawks defense. Then Geno Smith led an 11-play, 80-yard drive that ended with Geno running it in for that touchdown. And it was just good to see, man, because obviously I kid a lot because I sports hate the 49ers like crazy, but they're a good football team. But losing 6 in a row to them was tough, man.
Man, it's humbling. And it's tough when you go on the road and they beat you. You come here and they beat you. You got to deal with those 49er fans all year long. So it's nice that towards the end of the year, you walk away with that W. And the way they did it, too, right? You talk about the 11-play, 80-yard drive by Geno. He finishes it off himself. 25 of 32 for 221, 1 rushing touchdown. And then JSN, he's the guy now. He had 110 yards and 10 receptions. Good way to end the season against the Niners.
Yeah, and I wanted to get back to what it used to be, man, because from 2012 to 2021, the Seahawks were 17-4 against the Niners. I'm hoping that trend continues because that's what I like to see. But let's take a peek around the NFC West. What's the word?
Where my soldiers at? West side! Where my soldiers at? West side!
And the Seahawks are the NFC West champs again.
What's the word in the West? On Hawk Talk.
All right, what was the word? Last year in 2024, the Rams were 10-7, Seahawks 10-7, Cardinals 8-9, and the Niners were 6-11. Like my guy mentioned, at the bottom of the division, the Seahawks missed the playoffs for the second straight year in 2024, despite Mike McDonald setting a Seahawk record for the most wins by first-year head coach in franchise history. He got 10 wins. It was the first time the Seahawks had missed the playoffs in consecutive seasons since 08-09. Guess who was on that team? Your boy Michael Bumpus was on that team, man. There was some dark times, bro. There was some dark times. But you know what? I think everyone around this team knows that it's changing over here. And I'm glad I can be on this end, too, right? I was there the last time you missed the playoffs back-to-back years. And now I'm here on the other side, and I get to experience the rebirth, right? The pivot that we're about to see.
No, love it. And the crazy thing is in a lot of places, 10 wins is a great year.
Yeah.
around here it felt like, dang, we didn't get it done. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. And I love where Coach McDonald talks about chasing edges, everything they're doing here. And I'm excited to see where this team is going. I think we all know that they have a bright future ahead of them. We've been talking about these 49ers will continue to. They fell off a cliff in 24, winning just 6 games. But they're missing a ton of people we mentioned. But here's the deal. They still got Christian McCaffrey, still got George Kittle, still got Brock Purdy, still got Kyle Juszczyk, still got Trent Williams, still got Nick Bosa. They're still forced to be reckoned with, and you got to take it to them. You got to beat them.
The Mount Rushmore still intact. Like
right.
The environment around the Mount Rushmore might have changed a little bit, but they still got their due. So let's be ready to go. Let's talk about these Cardinals, though. They improved in 2024. They went 8-9. They had a shot at the postseason, but lost 5 of 7 games to end the season. Kyler Murray, James Conner, and Trey McBride all had great seasons. But they all have a lot to prove, and to be considered a real contender. I talked to a lot of people, Bumpus State Show. You know how it goes.
Of course, 10-2,
Seattle Sports, holla at me. And this is a lot of people's dark horse, Arizona Cardinals. They killed the draft. They went after a bunch of defensive players. I believe 6 out of 7 of their draft picks were on the defensive side of the ball. But they still got to prove it. They got talent over there, but can they put it together?
Every year we talk about the Arizona Cardinals, me and you specifically, and they're just hard to read. We know they have talent. Kyler Murray is a dog. We know he can play. Trey McBride had one of the best seasons a tight end has ever had wearing an Arizona Cardinal uniform.
He got paid this offseason, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sure did.
James Conner, dog. I've always liked James since Pittsburgh, overcoming cancer, and you never know because that dude is but they have to prove it. Their new head coach, I think he's starting to turn the tide a little bit, but I'm still waiting to see because they're up 1 week, they're down. They're 6-4, then they lose 5 of 7. You know, so it's hard to tell. So we'll see about the Niners, the Cardinals, as we move on. And last but not least, we got the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are just annoying to me, bro.
Man,
here's why: because they're a thorn in our backside for one,
every year,
and they never go away. They're that annoying bug that keeps buzzing you and you can't do anything about it. But they're great. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk to JB Long every year when he plays them. He's their play-by-play voice. And even when the Rams seem dead in the water, they still find a way to come back, and that's because they have a great head coach. Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. The season's going to come down to whether Stafford can stay healthy.
Exactly.
I think that's what it is. I mean, that back, who knows?
37, man. That back to start to hurt. I woke up one morning and my knee was swollen for no reason. I said, what is this? 39. That's what it is.
Well, don't they say once you get to your mid-30s, it's either you wake up and it's like, is this temporary or forever?
Exactly. Yeah. I got to holler at Dave Wyman, man. Guide me through this, man. But, it comes down to Matthew Stafford. Can he stay healthy? You bring over Devontae Adams. We know about that defensive line that they have, a whole bunch of young talent over there. They, on paper, are the team to beat, but honestly, I look at this division, it feels like it's wide open.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Every team has an opportunity to make the playoffs. Every team can compete. You talk about the Rams. I think their defensive line. I think of Jared Verse. I think of Fisk. I think of Poona Ford. They're a force to be reckoned with. That's another one that we're going to circle that the Seahawks have to take care of business against. Because the last 2 years, I mean, there's a lot of factors that went into it. But you can look at both the Rams games as why the Seahawks didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
And so it's definitely going to come down to you got to own the NFC West. That's going to get you into the playoffs. We'll see. But, again, we'll shift our attention back to those 49ers. Man up.
Hey, who you got?
Who you got? You know what time it is. Man up.
Man up, brother.
Man up.
Man up on Hawk Talk.
We usually start with the quarterbacks bump. Today's going to be no different, and we're talking Brock Purdy. We've talked a lot of Brock Purdy, and you know what? Everything's coming up Purdy right now. I'm not going to lie. My man had a great offseason.
Sure did.
Anytime you become the highest paid player in the history of a franchise like the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, I guess you're doing something right. I mean, my guy went from Mr. Irrelevant to highest paid in franchise history. It's quite the jump. 5 years, $265 million, $100 million guaranteed. We know what he did in 2023, led them to the Super Bowl. He was 4th in MVP voting, threw for a franchise record 4,280 yards, league's best passer rating. Niners obviously come up short in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs in overtime. But, he has records, franchise history, passing yards, passer rating, single game completion, all this different stuff. But last year, things really trailed off.
Yeah, it fell off a little bit. He was 30 of 4, 55 for 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Had his lowest completion percentage, and it seemed like the flow was off a little bit. And partly because of all the injuries that they had. When you don't have all your dogs out there, you're banged up yourself, things are going to happen. And that's what we saw with the 49ers. And we know he's talented. The question is, how can he handle the pressure? You are the guy now. $100 million guaranteed. There's no longer, oh, what a great story. Look at this guy, Mr. Irrelevant, making plays. It's, no, you need to make plays for this team to have success. Let's see if he can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, I think my whole thing with Purdy's always been turnovers. When he takes care of the football, they're really hard to beat. He gets the ball out fast. He can get it to the sideline. When he turns the ball over, that's when the Niners' losses kind of stack up. So we'll see. Seahawks defensively were 14th last year. Obviously, I said it earlier. I think they're going to be top 5 defense, so we'll see if that holds true there. Bump. Talk about our QB1.
Yeah, we got a new QB over here, Sam Darnold. It's the new era of Seahawks football, man. And he's coming off a great year. He's 27 years of age. Last year, 4,319 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and helped the Vikings to a 14-3 record. He was the best available quarterback during the offseason, and the Seahawks went ahead and got him. He was the number 3 overall pick in 2018 out of SC. Started 38 games for his first 3 seasons with the Jets, and then he was traded to the Panthers in 2021, and we know how the Jets have messed up quarterbacks. That's what they do. He started 15 games over there with Carolina before signing with the 49ers in 2023. Much like the quarterback he is replacing in Seattle, Geno Smith, Darnold had up and down seasons, or up and down career, I should say. And it's almost fitting that he is following Geno Smith because it's like they're almost on the same path. Geno, a later draft pick, not as high as Sam Darnold, but for some reason, I'm going to say it, this is going to be the get-right organization. Quarterbacks, they get thrown to the side, they come here, Geno gets right. It's going to be the same thing for Sam Darnold here in Seattle.
And I'm going to do one further. It's the get right and then stay right.
Stay right, yeah.
Because, I mean, you look at the pairing, the fact that Sam got to spend time in San Francisco with Clint Kubiak, know the offense, really sit there and just learn how people prepared. And there was a production meeting earlier this offseason, and I heard him kind of talk about it and just so much he learned about the game of football. He's been playing it his whole life. And you wouldn't think he'd be necessarily learning from a younger guy like Brock Purdy, but when he really talked to him, he's like, I learned about a lot of preparation. Brock Purdy learned that from Jimmy Garoppolo. Who did Jimmy G learn it from?
Jimmy G.
Tom Brady.
Oh, the GOAT.
So it's like you go through all that and you go, okay, that makes sense. I can see why the preparation. So him with Clint Kubiak, I think that's going to be great. And I'm excited because these guys are going to be – this offense is going to be fun to watch.
It should be, man. I'm excited. Like you said, Chiefs, they showed us a little something. What, 10 plays, 80-something yard drive. Sam Darnold was 4 for 4. Zach Charbonnet getting busy. Yeah, it should be fun to watch.
So, yes, QB1, new one in Seattle. Excited to see what Sam Darnold is going to be able to do. We talked about the Niners defense last year. They were 5th against the pass, so we'll see where they fall off, losing 2 guys in that secondary, see if there's any changes there. Then we got to shift to the running backs. Christian McCaffrey against the Seahawks front 7. McCaffrey, I mean, when he's out there, he's one of the most dangerous dudes in the league.
Facts.
Doesn't matter where he's been, whether it was at Stanford, whether it was in Carolina, or for the 49ers. 3-time Pro Bowler, Swiss Army knife, 2-time All-Pro. He obviously, Offensive Player of the Year in 23 when they get to the Super Bowl. And he had led the league in rushing, did all kinds of stuff. His resume speaks for itself. But again, health is a huge factor. Last season was a season to forget for him. He only played in 4 games after dealing with Achilles tendonitis and a PCL injury that ended up shutting him down for the season. In those 4 games, just 50 carries, 200 yards, no touchdowns.
Killing people's fantasy teams.
Yeah, people were let down.
They were hot. But you know what? He is a player. He is a person, okay?
Human being.
He's a human being. And we care about him. We just don't want him to go off against the 49ers. But like you mentioned, one of the best in the game. I'm surprised he's only a 3-time Pro Bowler. It feels like every year he should just automatically be one, but with these injuries. No, it's going to be tough, man. Seahawks ranked 16th in the NFL versus the run, allowing 120 yards per game last year. You can't go into a game thinking you are just going to stop McCaffrey. You might stop him. Defense might just do their thing. The game plan is on point. You go in thinking, okay, let's just limit the explosive plays. That's the angle you got to take with this dude. All right, let's get into their receivers, Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. I really like both of these. Jawan's good enough to be a solid number 2 on almost any team in the NFL. And Ricky Pearsall, we all know his story, getting shot last year, came back from that. He showed some promise as well. Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL in week 7 last year, so you're not going to see him. We'll see when he's going to come back. They're saying, maybe week 5.
At the earliest, I think.
At the earliest. Debo Samuel, he's not with the team anymore, but let's focus on the guys who are here. Jawan Jennings had a breakout season, 77 receptions, 975 yards, and 6 touchdowns. In his previous 3 seasons, he had no more than 35 receptions or 416 yards. He is going to be key, and he's capable. If I felt like he had a pretty good game or two against the Seahawks last year.
He did. I think the first game he had a pretty good game, the one that was in Seattle.
And then the young man, Ricky Pearsall, he had a brutal start to his career. We talked about him being shot and attempted robbery. Glad he's okay. He recovered and played in 11 games. He had 31 receptions for 40 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a route runner. Run after the catch is good as well. Some additions now. You add Sky Moore from the Chiefs, Russell Gage. I think he's out. I think I read something he might be out this game, but they did sign MVS, our sloppy seconds, but I still got love for MVS.
Love him.
You're wearing a different jersey, though, but I got love for you. Just don't do your thing here, man. None of these 3 were on the 49ers rosters last season. MVS was in camp here. So they got some new names over there. Some coming back with Juwan and Ricky Pearsall and some new names as well.
Yeah, they can stretch the field. That's the one thing I think between Reek and Spoon is keeping guys in front, right? Yep. And that's also J Love, Kobe Bryant in the back end. We know what MVS can do. He was just in camp. So if anyone got a great look at what he is, it's our secondary, right? And Pearsall, I think he was just kind of starting to come into his own towards the end of last year. He's another big play guy out of Florida. He was a first-round pick for a reason. But no, this is a matchup, I think, tilt Seahawks, right? This is an elite defense, we think, right now. They got to go out there and prove it. This is an elite secondary, we think. They've started to prove it, but I think they can really drive that home this year, and I'm really excited to see that. And I spoke to Julian Love, I think it was last week, and I just talking to him about the defense and everything like that. And he's like, man, no, we feel good about it. And he said, the thing that jumped out to me, he said, you got a bunch of thinkers. Which is what you want to hear because when Mike McDonald's your head coach, he's known as this defensive genius. Okay, he's still got to communicate stuff to guys on the field, whether it's Ernest Jones, and I think you have one of those dudes at every level, which is super helpful, and I'm excited to see.
Understanding the scheme is key. Sounds like they got that.
Yeah, no, my goodness, I shudder to think what those meetings are like, and just after a year now though, of last year, I'm sure guys were swimming, being like, what do we do? And now it's like, boom, they can play fast, so I'm excited to see that. Let's flip it over to our receiving core, JSN, Cooper Kupp. I'm excited about this bump. I'll kick it back to you in a second, but major changes in this unit, obviously, right? It's been the same since 2019. Tyler Lockett has been here since 2015. Lockett, DK Metcalf, no longer here. Love both those guys. Did a lot of great things here, but it's a new era. You draft JSN in the first round because you know what he could do. He showed that last year, right? Coming off taking that torch as number 1 receiver, breakout year for JSN, single season career highs, 100 receptions, 1,130 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. Big things for JSN I'm expecting, and you watch him. He's talked about every year he's taken a jump, but in his life, his 3rd year is the one he's taking the biggest jump. 3rd year, junior in high school took the biggest jump. Junior at Ohio State, and we saw what happened. You know, things like it's usually the 3rd year you're somewhere, he takes that jump. So I'm excited to see that bump. And what I'm really excited about, now this almost feels personal. So bringing back Cooper Kupp, obviously the Yakima, Washington native, Davis High School, Eastern Washington. But the reason I'm so excited, obviously because he can play, he's a great dude. I'm happy to see him here bump. You know how much time we've talked about Cooper Kupp on this show?
Man.
About how we're going to stop him and how he is killing us, drawing up routes and why we can't get. I mean, I am so happy. I told him this when I saw him in person for the first time. I said, you have no idea how happy you are that you're on our side. We don't got to worry about talking about you going off. So I'm excited, my boy. What are you excited to see from Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, I did an interview with him. You were there for that. He's one of the smartest football players I've ever spoken to. Like, he understands defenses, and I can only imagine the knowledge he's given the rest of this this receiving core. You have no choice but to learn from the Triple Crown winner back in the day, man. In 2021, 145 receptions, 1,947 yards.
16 touchdowns, not 167 like I wrote down.
167.
Felt like it.
It did feel like it. He's just a complete receiver. Routes are on point, can still block, and don't sleep on his run after the catch. I know he's in his 30s, and you like to throw football players away when he's in his 30s, but when he is healthy, he's one of the most efficient receivers out there. Last year, 67 receptions for 710 and 6 touchdowns. You also got the rookie, Torrey Horton. That's part of the reason why MVS isn't here, because this young man hit the scene and made some moves. Jake Bobo, fan favorite, he's hanging around. You got Derek Young, and then Cody White. More love for Derek Young. I think he doesn't get the love he deserves because he is just the blue collar. I'm going to do special teams and get things done. And like I mentioned, Cody White. So, defensively, the 49ers are 12th against the pass last year. They were 6th in the NFL in interceptions with 10, 8th in the NFL with passes defended with 45. But this is a new year. Those rankings do mean something, but the personnel has changed over there a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about this receiving core because you mentioned blue collar, but I feel like they all have a hint of that to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't think you could not have that if you're playing for Clint Kubiak, right?
Facts.
And this type of offense, you got to block. You need to be physical. Coach McDonald talks about it's a style that no one wants to play. Well, to do that, you need to be physical. You need to be relenting. You need to be getting after DBs, blocking them late after, all that stuff. So I'm excited to see that. A person I'm not excited to see.
Yep.
His name's Nick Bosa.
I'm gonna call him Nicholas.
I don't necessarily care to see him out there. We know who he is. AP Defensive Player of the Year in 2022, 18.5 sacks, Pro Bowl, 6 in MVP voting. Last year, he was a problem.
Sure was.
Mainly in the first matchup, and I'll there's a little qualifier there. He only had 4 tackles, 2 QB hits, but he had 14 pressures, made life a living hell for Geno Smith, according to Next Gen Stats. Difference, though, is Abe Lucas was not playing.
Starters were not in.
Right. So it was one of those things where, no disrespect to him, but you had Stone Forsythe out there. You had a couple other guys, and he had a field day. The next time down in Santa Clara, Abe was back, and he had a much different game. So between Abe and Charles Cross, I feel really good about stopping him. He's a great dude. He's gonna rush the passer. He's gonna get after it. When he gets in that almost wide 9 track stance, and you're just like, okay.
Yep.
But no, he's a good football player. Finished the year last year, 52 tackles, 9 sacks, 15 TFLs, 24 QB hits, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass defender, 1 interception. He's a problem. I think Abe Lucas just got a little bump, feeling a little good about himself. Charles Cross, we know what he is. He's a dog. I think between both of them, I don't expect Nick Bosa to wreck the game, but he is someone that the offense needs to be aware of on every snap.
Yeah, he'll make some plays. I mean, he's Nick Bosa. At one point, he was considered the best defensive player in the game. So yeah. But we got our guys. The O-line is healthy. I like that matchup. Last matchup, we're talking about George Kittle against the LBs in the secondary of this team. George Kittle is a special type of football player. All right, of course, players decline over the years, but he still did his thing last year. Over 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, 78 receptions, and 8 touchdowns in 2024. Kittle had the 3rd most receiving yards amongst tight ends, and his 8 touchdowns were 2nd among NFL tight ends in the NFL. The tight end group is talented in the NFL, period. Yeah. So the fact that he is still up there with the elite is something special. I'm looking to see, do they rough him up on the line of scrimmage? Do they let him run? How are you going to try to contain George Kittle? It's going to be a tough task, but I like this defense. I like the personnel. I like the matchup. He'll make some plays now. He'll make some plays, but just try to limit them.
Yeah, I'll call a spade. He's done well against the Seahawks over the years, especially in the last 5 or 6. The best it's done is when he didn't play. He missed the game last year. But no, Kittle's a dog. They got that, that tight end U with Greg Olsen and Travis Kelce and everyone down there. But George Kittle's a player. He can block like an offensive lineman, and he can get down the field. So he's definitely going to be a problem for the Seahawks secondary. But when I continue to look at all this, they have dogs on their side, but so do the Seahawks. And I think the Seahawks will be up for the challenge. Speaking of which, we're going to let you guys know how the Seahawks are going to get a victory. Path to victory.
At the 45, waits for the snap. Michael Dixon puts it down. That kick is away, and that kick is good! The Seahawks win! It's good!
It's a path to victory on Hawk Talk.
Kicked off the season talking about Mike McDonald in his 2nd season head coach, and this is a great opportunity to show the entire NFL and the league what him and John Schneider have been building over the past year. It's time to show the league and everyone else that what you preach, a style that nobody wants to play, is what you're going to put out there on the field on Sunday. And I'm excited for him to get that opportunity to do that on Sunday.
Practice what you preach, and you have to start fast offensively. All right, so it has to go to the run game. You got to establish the run early. Clint Kubiak's offense is all about that. He's going to pack it in. He's going to have motion. Hand that football off and let these guys run that run the ball. You set the tone. And Sam Darnold needs to just be who is. Don't be nothing special. You good, dog. All right, this offense is perfect for Sam Darnold. Doesn't have to be anything special. Just take care of the football and play with some confidence.
Yeah, and absolutely. And you know what's going to give him confidence? When you're throwing to guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, they're going to make it hard on the 49er DBs, and I'm excited to see that. And then defensively, you got to get after Brock Purdy. I mentioned it earlier. I think the key to this game defensively is to get after him, is turnovers. When the 49ers and Brock Purdy specifically turn the football over, this team loses football games. It's a big part of that, and Seahawks got to start fast.
So Seahawks want to run the football, get your receivers involved, and now the defense, you got to stop the run with Christian McCaffrey. You cannot let him go off, man. Show the world what your defense is all about, and let the genius of Mike McDonald just fly. Let it be free. Right. Now, he showed us a little bit of it during the preseason, right? It's almost like he showed us and he said, calm down. I got to keep some of this. I got to keep some of this. So we saw the vanilla stuff. Now we're going to see what it's really about. The pressures, the stunts, the blitz, all of that good stuff. You mentioned there's a bunch of thinkers on that defense. Man, let these guys do their thing.
No, and honestly, Bump, like, whether you're a Seahawks fan, you follow the team, whatever it is, the Seahawks are known for being good at home.
Yep.
And that hasn't been the case last year. They're 3-6. Everyone knows that's not good enough. I want to see that tide turn. We need to start winning football games at home, especially within this division. Get the season started off right. Give the 12 something to go crazy for, man. I'm excited about it because here's the thing. You worry about whether it's other opposing fans in the building. It won't matter if you're playing well on the field because it's going to be drowned out. So the Seahawks fans are going to be loud. They're going to be crazy. I can't wait. The Seahawks need to go 1-0. Reminder, you can listen to us anywhere. YouTube, Seahawks.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and SiriusXM. Also, if you haven't already, get over and peep out our Seahawks Stories 50th Season podcast. A lot of great stories as we celebrate our 50th season as a franchise. Bump, I'm excited. Things get going on Sunday. Seahawks taking on the 49ers at 1:05 on Sunday. Pre-game show gets going at 10 a.m. Listen to Michael Bumpus, Paul Moyer, Brian Walters, Ray Roberts, and the rest of the crew on Sunday. He's Michael Bumpus. I'm Nasser Kyobe. This has been Hawk Talk.